Close your eyes for a moment. Think about everything you are chasing: success, peace, respect, happiness. Now ask yourself honestly, if I gain the world but lose myself, is that success? Does not begin in your bank account. It does not begin in your position. It does not begin in your position. It does not begin when people clap for you.
Success begins in a silent place.
A place where only you and God are present. And today we are not talking about changing the world. We are talking about transforming the person who will change it. You. My dear friends, every human being wants to rise higher, live better, and become stronger. We search outside opportunities, recognition, approval. But the greatest truth of life is simple. What you become within determines what you achieve outside. God has placed immense power inside every soul. Power to grow, to rise, to heal, to overcome. But most people live unaware of this divine strength. They doubt themselves, fear failure, and wait for the right moment. But the right moment is not in the future. The right moment begins the day you decide to awaken your inner self. Success is not a destination. It is an inner awakening guided by faith, discipline, and purpose. When your inner world aligns with God's wisdom, your outer world begins to transform naturally. Today, let us understand how true success begins within you. Imagine waking up every morning and rushing through your day as if life owes you something. You check your phone, scroll through notifications, jump into tasks, and by nightfall, you feel exhausted but somehow unfulfilled. You wonder, why do I keep doing the same things and not getting anywhere? The truth is, the journey to success begins long before you chase goals, before you speak affirmations, before you even set your plans. It begins with one simple but often overlooked practice: knowing yourself. Self-awareness is the key that unlocks the door to every success you dream of. It is the seed that God planted within you, waiting to grow into greatness.
Every decision you make, every action you take, and every reaction you have comes from the world within you.
If you are unaware of your thoughts, your habits, and your emotions, you are like a ship sailing in the middle of the ocean without a compass, drifting wherever the waves take you. But when you pause, reflect, and ask yourself honestly, who am I? What do I truly want? What drives me? You begin to uncover the map of your own life. Self-awareness is not just a mental exercise. It is a spiritual practice.
It is a spiritual practice.
It is listening to the quiet voice within that God has placed inside you, the voice that guides you toward your true potential. Think about the simple moments in life. When you react angrily to a friend's words, do you stop to ask why you are upset? When you feel jealous of someone else's success, do you ask what insecurity that feeling is revealing within you? Most of us go through life reacting to external triggers, blaming circumstances, or blaming people for how we feel. But self-awareness flips the script. It shifts the power back into your hands. It says, I am not a product of my environment. I am a creator of my inner world. Self-awareness is noticing your strengths and using them consciously. It is acknowledging your weaknesses and deciding not to be controlled by them. It is recognizing your fears and still choosing action. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary started with a moment of honest reflection. Thomas Edison didn't stumble upon invention by accident. He observed himself, understood his curiosity, and aligned it with relentless effort. Every small success begins with observing your mind and your patterns, with noticing how you respond to life and taking responsibility for that response. In daily life, self-awareness looks like pausing before you speak in anger, understanding why that reaction arose, and choosing to respond with calmness instead. It looks like noticing when you procrastinate, understanding the fear or resistance behind it, and taking one small step forward anyway. It looks like celebrating your small victories, reflecting on what made them possible, and building a conscious roadmap to replicate them. These small acts are spiritual exercises. They train your mind, heart, and soul to live with purpose. Self-awareness also means understanding the influence of your thoughts. Thoughts are powerful seeds. They shape your beliefs, which shape your actions, which shape your life. If you are unaware, negative thoughts silently govern your decisions. You might say, "I can't do this," or "I am not enough," without realizing these thoughts are steering your life. But the moment you become conscious of them, you can pause and choose differently. You can say, "This thought is not my master. I am capable. I am strong. I am guided."
God has placed the power of choice within you. Self-awareness is simply noticing your thoughts, so you can wield that power intentionally.
Even in relationships, self-awareness transforms your life. Consider a parent who constantly argues with their child. Consider a parent who
Without awareness, both are trapped in cycles of frustration. But when the parent steps back, asks, "Why am I reacting this way? Is it my own stress or fear speaking?" they can respond with patience, love, and clarity. The result is not just better communication. It is growth, understanding, and harmony, not only with others, but within themselves. Every successful person is not just someone who wins externally, but someone who has mastered their inner world. Spiritual self-awareness connects you to a higher purpose. It is recognizing that every talent, every struggle, every thought has been given to you for a reason. It is listening to the subtle nudges, the divine whispers that guide your choices, and being honest with yourself about the life you are creating. When you cultivate self-awareness, you stop living life as a spectator and begin living it as the director of your own story. You start noticing your impact on others, the energy you bring into rooms, and the habits that either build or destroy your dreams. The journey of self-awareness is not always comfortable. You will see your flaws, confront your fears, and face the truths you may have ignored. But that is where the real growth happens. Growth, after all, is not about comfort, it is about transformation. Every great achievement, every moment of peace, every milestone of success comes to those who take the time to look inward, to reflect, to understand, and then act consciously. So today, let us remember, success does not begin with the accolades, the money, or the recognition. Success begins when you truly know yourself, when you awaken the awareness God has placed within you, and when you decide to take responsibility for your life from the inside out. Observe yourself, understand yourself, guide yourself, and the world outside will follow. True power, true success, true fulfillment begins within you. Every person you admire, every leader, every successful individual, every person who seems to have it all, none of them achieved it by accident. Their outer world reflects their inner world. Your reality, the life you live, is the mirror of your mindset. What you believe, what you focus on, what you allow yourself to dwell on, directly shapes the experiences you attract. The most powerful tools God has given you are not your hands, not your intelligence, not even your opportunities. It is your mind. And how you choose to use it determines everything. Imagine two people walking into the same situation, a challenge, a problem, a new opportunity. One sees it as an obstacle, a dead end, a reason to give up. The other sees it as a lesson, a chance to grow, a stepping stone to greatness. The situation is identical, yet the outcomes are completely different. The situation is identical, yet the outcomes are completely different. This is the power of mindset. Life does not hand you success. It reflects the thoughts and beliefs you carry within. The moment you realize this, you step into freedom. You stop blaming circumstances and you begin to master your own reality. Think about everyday life. A student faces an exam and says, "I am not smart enough, I'll fail." That thought alone is more dangerous than any difficult question on the paper. It limits the mind, shuts down creativity, and attracts self-doubt. But another student facing the same exam says, "I have prepared, I am capable, and I will do my best." That simple shift in mindset opens the mind to possibilities, to focus, and to solutions. Success is rarely about talent alone. It is about belief, perspective, and focus. God has given you the ability to choose your thoughts, to shape your focus, and to direct your attention. And through this, you shape your reality. Even in your career, mindset is the defining factor. A person may be stuck in a job they do not enjoy, complaining every day about their boss, their colleagues, or the system. Their mindset is trapped in limitation, fear, and negativity.
But another person in the same environment approaches work with curiosity, gratitude, and determination. They focus on learning, growing, and contributing.
The opportunities they notice, the relationships they build, and the doors that open to them are entirely different. All because of their mindset. All because of their mindset. The world does not change for the negative thinker. The world aligns with the positive, faithful, and focused mind. Mindset also shapes resilience. Life will inevitably throw challenges, failures, setbacks, betrayals, losses. You cannot always control these external events, but you can control how you interpret them.
A mindset that sees failure as a final verdict will lead to despair.
A mindset that sees failure as feedback, as a lesson designed to strengthen character and refine skills, turns obstacles into stepping stones. Every successful individual you admire, every person who has touched greatness, has faced failure, but they were not defeated because their mindset refused to accept defeat. They believed in God's plan, trusted the journey, and focused on what could be learned rather than what was lost. Your mindset also governs your relationships. Your mindset also governs your relationships. A mind that is fearful, jealous, or insecure attracts conflict and distrust. A mind that is confident, generous, and positive attracts trust, respect, and collaboration. Think of your daily interactions with colleagues, friends, or family. How often do conflicts arise not because of what someone else did, but because of how your mind interpreted their actions? When you shift your perspective, when you pause and choose to see the situation with patience and understanding, the energy changes. You create harmony instead of chaos, and opportunities instead of roadblocks. Even health and well-being are influenced by mindset. Studies show that people who approach life with hope, faith, and a positive perspective recover faster, feel stronger, and live longer. God designed the human mind and body to work together. When your mindset aligns with strength, faith, and focus, your body responds with energy, resilience, and vitality. Conversely, a mind full of stress, fear, and negativity sabotages your health, drains energy, and clouds judgment. Your inner world directly governs your outer world. And here is the most powerful truth. Mindset is not fixed. No matter your past, no matter your mistakes, no matter how many times life has knocked you down, you can choose your mindset in this very moment. You can choose faith over fear, hope over doubt, action over procrastination, abundance over scarcity. God has given you the freedom to shape your mind, and with it, to shape your reality. Start small. Begin with noticing your thoughts. Challenge the ones that limit you. Replace fear with faith. Replace complaint with gratitude. Replace doubt with determination. With every conscious choice, your mind begins to shift. And as your mind shifts, your life shifts. Opportunities that once seemed impossible start appearing. Relationships deepen.
Relationships deepen.
Challenges transform into lessons. Success, fulfillment, and inner peace begin to flow naturally. Remember, no external circumstance has the power to define you unless you let it. The power has always been inside you, in the way you think, perceive, and act. Success begins not in the world outside, but in the mind within. When your mindset aligns with purpose, faith, and positivity, faith becomes a reflection of the greatness God placed inside you. Your reality is not random. It is a mirror of your thoughts. Guard your mind, nurture it, fill it with faith, hope, gratitude, and courage, and watch the world around you transform in ways you once only dreamed possible. Your mindset shapes your reality, and your reality can always be reborn in alignment with your highest purpose. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is the invisible force that turns desire into achievement, potential into success, and intention into action. Most people think of discipline as restriction, as a set of rules to follow, or as the opposite of freedom. But the truth is the exact opposite. Discipline is the doorway to freedom. It is the practical expression of faith, the way you honor the gifts and potential God has placed within you. Without discipline, talent remains wasted, ideas remain dreams, and life drifts aimlessly. With discipline, even the smallest steps compound into extraordinary results. Consider your morning routine. Imagine two people waking up at the same hour. One hits the snooze button, delays starting the day, scrolls through social media, and feels guilty for wasting precious time. The other wakes with intention, prays or meditates, reflects on purpose, and begins taking consistent action toward their goals. Both have the same 24 hours, but discipline makes the difference. The first person reacts to life. The second person shapes life. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about commitment. It is doing what needs to be done even when motivation fades, even when you feel tired, even when no one is watching. In daily life, discipline shows itself in small choices that are often invisible to others. Choosing to eat healthy when fast food is convenient, choosing to study when friends are out, choosing to save money when spending is tempting, choosing to be honest when dishonesty seems easier. All of these are acts of discipline. Each small act strengthens the inner muscle that God has placed within you. Every choice builds character, builds resilience, and builds the foundation for larger success. Over time, these consistent actions compound into results that seem impossible to those who are inconsistent. Discipline is also spiritual strength. It is the practice of aligning your actions with your values, your purpose, and your faith.
It is choosing the path that leads to growth, rather than the path of immediate comfort.
A disciplined person prays or reflects daily, not because it is convenient, but because they understand the importance of connecting with the source of wisdom and strength. A disciplined person acts with integrity, not because someone is watching, but because they know that every action reflects the divine spark within them. Discipline is faith in motion. It is living according to principles, even when the world pushes you towards shortcuts or compromise. Think about the process of learning a skill. A musician does not master an instrument overnight. A writer does not craft powerful words without hours of practice. An athlete does not win championships without training relentlessly. In every case, discipline, the willingness to show up consistently, to endure discomfort, to repeat small steps, is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. God has placed the seeds of greatness within each person, but without discipline, these seeds may never grow. Discipline waters those seeds and allows them to flourish into the full potential of your life. Discipline is also the antidote to procrastination. Every day we face distractions, temptations, and excuses. I'll start tomorrow, we say, or I'm too tired today. I'm too tired today.
But every delay is a missed opportunity to practice control over your mind, your habits, and your life.
When you cultivate discipline, you train yourself to act immediately, to prioritize what is important over what is comfortable, and to take consistent steps toward your goals. God does not ask you to be perfect. He asks you to be faithful, consistent, and committed. Discipline is faith expressed through action. Even in relationships, discipline is vital. Choosing patience over anger, forgiveness over resentment, listening over speaking, and understanding over judgment requires daily effort. It is easy to react. It is difficult to respond consciously. But those who practice relational discipline create stronger, deeper, and more meaningful connections. Their actions reflect their inner strength, their faith, and their commitment to living in alignment with God's principles. Every disciplined act strengthens the soul and strengthens the bond between intention and impact. Discipline is also a shield against chaos. Life will test you with distractions, failures, temptations, and uncertainty. Without discipline, your mind becomes scattered, your habits falter, and your dreams slip away. With discipline, you build structure, control, and clarity. You create an inner environment where faith, focus, and persistence can thrive. You become resilient, capable of handling setbacks without losing direction. The disciplined person does not depend solely on luck or external circumstances. They depend on consistent action guided by purpose and faith. Ultimately, discipline transforms ordinary people into extraordinary lives. It is the quiet power behind every success story, the steady flame that keeps hope alive when motivation fades, and the practical tool that allows God's potential within you to manifest in the world. Discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. It is not rest turn. Friction. It is empowerment. It is the daily conscious choice to honor the life, the gifts, and the purpose God has given you. Every act of discipline is a declaration that you are capable, committed, and ready to step into the life you were meant to live with stepped into, the life you were meant to live. So start today. Make one small intentional choice. Do the work when it is uncomfortable. Show up when it is inconvenient. Persist when it is challenging. With every step, you build the inner strength that leads to success. With every act of discipline, you move closer to the person. You move closer to the person God intended you to be. Remember, your dreams are waiting. Your potential is waiting, and your disciplined actions will carry you to heights you once thought impossible. Discipline is the spiritual strength in action, and through it, your success begins to unfold. Imagine a stormy sea. The waves crash, the wind roars, the sky darkens, and the ship seems powerless. Yet, if the captain inside remains calm, centered, and focused, they can navigate the chaos with skill and clarity. Life is exactly like that stormy sea. Challenges, conflicts, unexpected setbacks, they will always come. But the secret to true power, the kind that creates lasting success and fulfillment, is not in controlling the world around you. It is in cultivating a calm, peaceful inner world. Inner peace is the soil from which every meaningful action, every wise decision, and every lasting achievement grows. Many people mistake busyness for productivity, stress for commitment, or chaos for significance. They fill their lives with tasks, distractions, and noise, thinking they are moving towards success. Distractions and noise, thinking they are moving towards success.
But without inner peace, the mind is restless, the heart is anxious, and the body is drained. Actions taken from this state are reactionary, impulsive, and often ineffective.
Inner peace, on the other hand, allows you to act with clarity, to respond rather than react, and to harness your energy for what truly matters. God has placed this calm center within every soul, a still point in the middle of life's turbulence. When you tap into it, outer power naturally emerges. Think about your daily life. When you're angry, frustrated, or anxious, your decisions are clouded. You might speak harshly to a loved one, make a poor choice at work, or avoid challenges because fear dominates your mind. But when you take a moment to breathe, to reflect, to align with your inner calm, you regain control. The same situation that once felt overwhelming now feels manageable. The energy you emit shifts. People respond differently to you. Opportunities appear clearer. Inner peace is not weakness. It is the strongest form of power because it allows you to act with intention, wisdom, and focus. Even in relationships, inner peace transforms outcomes. A parent dealing with a rebellious child, a manager handling a difficult employee, a partner facing conflict, all can choose to react impulsively or to respond with calm strength. When the inner state is peaceful, words are measured, actions are deliberate, and solutions arise naturally. People are drawn to calm energy. Chaos and aggression may temporarily dominate, but sustained peace commands respect, influence, and authority. God's presence within you is amplified when your heart is calm, turning every interaction into an opportunity for growth and understanding. Inner peace also enhances focus and productivity. A person rushing through tasks with a distracted mind may accomplish little despite long hours. But a calm mind, aligned with purpose, can achieve more in a few focused hours than a frantic mind can achieve in an entire day. Peace allows discernment, the ability to prioritize, to identify what matters most, and to act effectively. It is like a river flowing smoothly. Its power comes from the steady, uninterrupted movement of water, not from chaotic splashes and turbulence. Consider your health. Consider your health. Stress, fear, and inner turmoil have a physical cost. Chronic anxiety weakens the immune system, clouds the mind, and drains energy. But cultivating inner peace through prayer, reflection, gratitude, or mindfulness restores balance. Your body, mind, and spirit align, giving you the strength to face life's challenges with energy, resilience, and clarity. God does not promise a life free from difficulties, but He does promise strength, wisdom, and calm to navigate every situation when your inner world is anchored. Even in moments of uncertainty, inner peace creates clarity. When opportunities arise or choices must be made, a restless mind becomes confused, while a peaceful mind can weigh options with insight and wisdom. People who act from inner peace rarely regret their decisions because their actions are rooted in clarity, purpose, and alignment with God's guidance. Outer power is not about control over others. It is control over yourself, your reactions, your focus, and your energy. Daily life offers countless small practices to cultivate this inner power. Taking a few moments each morning to center yourself, to reflect on gratitude, to pray, or to simply breathe, sets the tone for the entire day. Pausing before responding to a challenging email, a difficult conversation, or an unexpected setback keeps your energy intact and your focus sharp. Releasing grudges, forgiving others, and letting go of what cannot be controlled keeps your heart light and your mind clear. These small acts of peace accumulate into an unstoppable inner strength. The remarkable truth is this: you cannot always control the external world, but you can always control your inner world. When your inner world is peaceful, your outer world naturally aligns. Opportunities appear more clearly. Our relationships strengthen, challenges become manageable, and influence grows. Power without peace is fragile and fleeting. Peace with power is enduring, unstoppable, and radiant.
God's wisdom teaches that true authority and strength do not come from domination or force. They come from alignment, calm, and clarity.
So, if you desire success, influence, and fulfillment, begin by tending to the garden within. Cultivate calm, nourish peace, and anchor yourself in the divine center of your being. Every decision you make, every word you speak, every action you take will then flow effortlessly from this inner reservoir of power. Inner peace is not passive, it is dynamic strength. It is the quiet force that shapes your destiny. When your heart is still and your mind is calm, you become unshakable, unstoppable, and deeply effective. From this place of inner harmony, your life begins to radiate power, purpose, and lasting success. Life is never meant to be easy. Every person, no matter their status, talent, or resources, faces difficulties. Sometimes the challenges are small and persistent, like an argument with a loved one or a missed opportunity. Other times they are overwhelming, shaking the very foundation of who we are. But here is a profound truth: challenges are not punishments, accidents, or signs of failure. They are divine invitations, opportunities designed by God to awaken your strength, reveal your potential, and expand your character. Every obstacle you face contains a lesson, a hidden blessing, and a chance to grow beyond your current limitations. Think about the small daily challenges you encounter. A missed deadline at work may seem frustrating, but it can teach focus, time management, and responsibility. A conflict with a friend may feel painful, but it can teach empathy, patience, and emotional intelligence. The universe, guided by God's wisdom, presents these experiences to refine you. Every challenge is a mirror, reflecting areas in your life where growth is needed. The key is not to avoid difficulty, but to embrace it with courage, faith, and openness. Consider someone who wants to build a successful career. They face rejection, criticism, and setbacks. Each rejection feels heavy, each criticism stings, and every failure tempts them to quit. But within these challenges lies the most powerful training ground for success. The person who sees every rejection as feedback, every failure as guidance, and every obstacle as a divine test emerges stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Challenges are not roadblocks, they are the stepping stones of growth. The same God who plants dreams in your heart also places challenges in your path to strengthen the resolve needed to achieve them. Challenges also reveal hidden strengths you never knew you had. When life tests you, fear and doubt naturally arise. But when you respond with faith, perseverance, and a willingness to learn, you discover courage, creativity, and endurance you may never have recognized. Imagine a young entrepreneur facing repeated setbacks in business. Every no can feel discouraging, yet every trial teaches problem solving, patience, and resilience. Each challenge is a lesson crafted by God to reveal your untapped potential. What feels like struggle today can become your story of triumph tomorrow. Even in relationships, challenges serve as divine growth opportunities. Disagreements, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings are inevitable. But when approached with intention and faith, they teach tolerance, empathy, forgiveness, and communication. A partnership that faces challenges and emerges stronger demonstrate not just love, but maturity, humility, and alignment with divine wisdom. Every conflict, when seen through this lens, is a lesson in building inner strength and deeper connections. Challenges also refine your character. Imagine a person who achieves success without obstacles. Their achievements may be shallow because they lack perseverance, patience, and gratitude. Challenges forge virtues like resilience, discipline, and humility. They test your integrity when shortcuts seem tempting. They test your patience when progress seems slow. And they test your faith when the outcome is uncertain. God allows these tests not to break you, but to refine you. The greater the challenge, the more powerful the growth. The greater the struggle, the greater the reward, not just externally, but within your soul. Even ordinary daily life is filled with small divine lessons if we choose to see them. Traffic jams teach patience. Waiting in line teaches presence. Mistakes at work teach responsibility. Difficult conversations teach listening. Life is constantly offering challenges. And each challenge is a call to grow, to rise above ego, to strengthen faith, and to align more deeply with God's guidance. Those who learn to embrace challenges with gratitude and courage transform obstacles into tools for success and wisdom.
Challenges all.
So teach us perspective. When faced with hardship, it is easy to feel defeated, to focus only on what is going wrong. But by reframing challenges as divine opportunities, you shift your focus from limitation to potential. You see lessons instead of losses, growth instead of failure, and strength instead of fear. This mindset transforms not only your response to adversity, but your entire approach to life. The storms that once terrified you become the training ground for your courage, your resilience, and your inner power. Faith is the key to seeing challenges as divine opportunities. Faith is the key to seeing challenges as divine opportunities. When you trust that God is guiding your path, that every trial has a purpose, and that every setback is temporary, you begin to approach life differently. Fear loses its grip, anxiety diminishes. Every challenge becomes an invitation to step into the best version of yourself. You begin to act not from despair, but from hope, not from doubt, but from faith, not from weakness, but from inner strength. So remember, challenges are not your enemies. They are God's way of preparing you for greatness. They are the fire in which your character is forged, the training ground where your inner strength is revealed, and the teacher that shows you the depth of your courage and potential. The next time life feels difficult, the next time a problem feels overwhelming, pause and ask yourself, What is this challenge teaching me? How is this shaping me? What strength is waiting to be discovered? When you embrace every obstacle as a divine opportunity, life transforms. Every setback becomes a setup for success. Every struggle becomes a story of triumph. And every challenge becomes a doorway to the greatness God intended for you. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you for what you have. It is a powerful practice that transforms your mind, energizes your spirit, and unlocks strength you didn't know was within you. Most people live focused on what they lack, what they cannot do, what they have not achieved, or what life has denied them. They measure success by comparison, and they measure happiness by what is missing.
But gratitude flips the perspective. It shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith, and from weakness to strength.
It opens the doors that fear and doubt have locked, and it aligns your heart with the power God has already placed within you. Consider a simple example. Two employees receive the same paycheck. One complains about how little they earned, how hard life is, how unfair the world is. The other says, I am grateful for this job, for my skills, for the opportunity to grow and provide for my family. Which person do you think will notice opportunities, learn faster, and move ahead in their career? Gratitude does not change the external situation instantly, but it changes your inner world, which in turn changes your actions, your perspective, and ultimately your results. God designed your heart to expand in proportion to the gratitude you carry. Gratitude also strengthens resilience. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, failures, disappointments. Without gratitude, these moments can feel crushing. But when you consciously recognize the blessings that still exist, a supportive friend, a loving family, a body that functions, a mind that can think and learn, you tap into a hidden reservoir of strength. Gratitude reminds you that even in hardship, you are not powerless. It helps you see that every difficulty carries a lesson, every struggle carries growth, and every obstacle carries a hidden gift. Those who cultivate gratitude are able to rise stronger from adversity because they recognize that every moment, good or bad, contributes to their journey. Even in relationships, gratitude has transformative power. Imagine a parent frustrated with a child's mistakes, a spouse upset with a partner's habits, or a friend hurt by someone's words. When you pause and intentionally focus on what is good, the love, the effort, the presence, you shift the energy of the relationship. Gratitude softens hearts, opens communication, and strengthens bonds. It turns what feels ordinary or challenging into a source of connection, joy, and shared growth. The power of gratitude is not only in feeling good, but in creating harmony and strength in every relationship. In every relationship, daily life offers countless small opportunities to practice gratitude. The warmth of the morning sun, the taste of fresh water, the sound of a loved one's laughter, the comfort of your home. These simple things, often overlooked, are reminders that life has already given you countless gifts. When you focus on these moments, your mind becomes calm, your spirit becomes joyful, and your inner strength grows. Gratitude aligns your attention with abundance instead of lack, with hope instead of despair, and with courage instead of fear. Gratitude also transforms work and deep productivity. When you approach tasks with appreciation for the chance to learn, to contribute, or to grow, your energy shifts. Tasks that once felt burdensome become meaningful. Challenges become exciting opportunities to test your skills. The act of recognizing what is good, even in small achievements, fuels motivation, persistence, and creativity. It turns effort into joy and labor into purpose. God rewards hearts that acknowledge His gifts by multiplying the impact of their actions, often in ways unseen but deeply felt. Another remarkable aspect of gratitude is its ability to shift perspective in times of scarcity or struggle. When life feels unfair, when resources are limited, when setbacks seem constant, gratitude acts like a torch in the darkness. It illuminates what is working, what has been gained, and what potential lies ahead. Instead of focusing on loss, you focus on opportunity. Instead of dwelling on failure, you recognize progress. This mental shift releases hidden energy and strength, enabling action that fear or negativity would otherwise block.
Gratitude fuels perseverance, creativity, and problem solving. Gratitude also strengthens faith.
Recognizing the blessings in your life connects you with the source of those blessings. You begin to see that every skill, every relationship, every resource, every insight comes from a divine hand. This recognition deepens your trust in God's guidance, making you more confident in your steps, more patient in challenges, and more courageous in pursuing your purpose. When your heart is grateful, your mind is focused, and your soul is aligned, hidden strength awakens naturally, even in moments of personal growth. Gratitude magnifies progress. Celebrate small wins, completing a task, mastering a skill, overcoming a fear, staying disciplined. Every step forward, no matter how minor it seems, becomes fuel for momentum.
Gratitude makes progress visible, reinforces positive behavior, and transforms consistent effort into confidence and empowerment.
It turns ordinary moments into milestones and ordinary actions into extraordinary results. In essence, gratitude unlocks strength that lies dormant within you. It is the key that transforms challenges into lessons, effort into progress, and life itself into a source of inspiration. By focusing on what you already have, you gain the courage, clarity, and energy to pursue what you desire.
Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice, a lens, and a lifestyle that allows the power God has placed within you to rise and shape your reality.
So today, begin a simple practice. Notice 3 things you are grateful for right now. Feel them in your heart, let them in your heart, let them fuel your actions, your mindset, and your faith. With each act of gratitude, your inner strength grows, your energy expands, and your life begins to reflect the abundance, courage, and purpose God intended for you.
Gratitude is the hidden engine of resilience, the spark of joy in daily life, and the source of a power you may not yet have realized you always possessed.